What's up, everybody? Brett here. We're back today playing some more of our Battle Brothers Lone Wolf Let's Play. Alright, guys. That last episode was awesome. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You'll see here by the smoking ruins of this battle site that we crushed those thralls. I decided to do it off camera. It took 1 or 2 tries. It was a pretty tricky fight. Like, 6 of those dudes had bear claws, or club claws, I think they're called. And the first time I got chain stunned into oblivion, which is why steel brow is somewhat recommended. And also, they pushed me off the high ground once. I ended up fighting in one of those maps where the ground is like very mountainous, and I got pushed off the high ground and it like wrecked me. I didn't see it coming because only one of the guys had shields, so I wasn't even considering it. And then I got played pretty hard like a noob. So. Oh, no. Okay, well, I'm not interested in taking another fight because I'm super hurt. And my armor's beat up. Oh, no. Okay, time to go. Evasive maneuvers. Very evasive. I'd be happy to destroy these guys if I wasn't in such a bad way. Mostly my armor needs to be repaired. Let's see. I don't want to lose them completely, because I might just turn and crush them. But we barely repaired any since we started running. Let me just come down here real quick and get a good view from the mountains. Do we try and fight them? We know that at least 2 of them are dogs. And at night, their throwing weapon shenanigans aren't that bad. Yeah, dogs are going to be on us right from the start. But we can get a kill easily. Just like that. Hopefully our confidence will start to rise, and theirs will start to diminish as their numbers drop. Yeah, get a full surround. Okay, I am breaking, which is horrible. Oh my god, the triple! Okay, that brought me back, though. But guaranteed if I didn't have Lone Wolf, I would have probably broken at that surround. But that's what you want to see, guys. The odds really were not in our favor for that. We were rolling a lot of decently low rolls for how strong we are. Yeah, and we'll just cut these guys up. Might have been smarter just to kill one right off the bat, which I think we can generally one-shot them if we use a standard attack. We'll get rid of him. And then this turn, they both would be dead. We'd have taken less damage. But, you know, we got some one-shot kills with the swing last time. Just kind of playing the odds. And finished. And just like that, I think that's the last fight we have under the effects of our training. Let's check it out. And now we're going to go for Berserk. Berserk, for those of you who've never read this before, it might be the strongest skill in the game. I would argue either Berserk or Indomitable, or rather Battleforged, being the 2 strongest abilities in the game. Or I guess you could argue Student if you consider that you lose literally nothing for a bonus 20% experience, except for a tiny bit of effectiveness in the early game. Berserk, once per turn upon killing an enemy, 4 action points are immediately regained. Characters cannot regain more than their maximum action points, and no more than 4 for a single attack. So it basically lets you attack twice. In the early stages of a battle, this could be game-changing, when you can kill many of the enemy right off the bat. And we are going to take that here over probably Underdog or Reach Advantage. We're going to go for Berserk. It would have been amazing there. We'd have killed the dog, got a reset. Next, you know, we killed 3 guys, then we would have got another reset, probably killed some more dudes. Keep pumping that melee skill. I don't know what the maximum amount of melee skill is that you need to have in order to be as effective as we are. But once Lone Wolf is active, I think our melee skill becomes a bit redundant. Definitely want to keep pumping Fatigue, though. And I'm going to pump 1 more melee defense. That might have been a good time to pump range defense, now that I look at it. We've still got a few good levels ahead of us, but maybe range defense is just something that we'll pump once we hit past level 11. And we just start, you know, putting 1 point every single level into that. I could see that. And having like a natural 89 at the moment, we might even get up to 100, which is nuts. Every swing is almost a guaranteed hit. Oh wow, so we did it. Deciding that Tannerstead is a good place to invest your efforts, You decide to offer the protection of the company and take up any more suitable to your talents. You act like a gentleman in your dealings with the locals and encourage the men to mind their manners while in the settlement. We don't have any men. There was, of course, some griping at first. Ozymandias the Lone Wolf was sorely disappointed to give up bawling with the farmers. Okay, this is funny because we don't have any guys. Ozymandias brags, quickly outvied by Ozymandias. Yeah, well, you break the game a little bit whenever you play with one character. But we're going to pick up some suitable characters very soon because we're just stacking crowns right now, living free. And it's a pretty nice way to be. And we're going to also stop by Finsterwald, a place we've never been. Hopefully a good place to see some things and do some things. Webnecks here. Is that worth trying? We're very injured, and our armor is very destroyed. I don't need to fight those guys. We could end up just getting webbed and roasted. Don't need that to happen to me. Bowyers and Lumberjacks here. A Lumberjack is normally a very good early game pickup. And a guy with the Fletcher here could be a good little early game archer pickup, but we don't need to do that. See what the prices are. The prices are terrible, but so is the loot. So we'll sell some of it. I'm going to hold on to these more expensive trade goods. We can sell that. We're not going to be able to eat it all. Sell that too. Yeah, we're good for a while. Anything here that I want to get? No. Okay. Let's keep on going. To Alsliv, a humble village. So not a place we should expect to find the caliber of fighters that we're looking to get. But maybe they'll have a good, easy contract for us to knock out. Okay, 2 skull, not ideal. Would be great to start collecting some direwolf pelts if I get the chance. And what we have here are poachers and daytellers. Nothing special here. Decent prices on tools, not terrible. Furs are undercosted. This is the type of thing you need to be looking out for if you're going to do any type of trade build. Or if you're at least just going to make trade part of your priorities. We could try this contract, see if they'll lower the prices even more, and then potentially go to another place where the furs are worth, you know, 400, 350 most likely, and make a little, you know, easy buck. Where do you want me to go? What does it pay? So the reason why I would most likely consider this is because we need time anyway to repair, and instead of just sitting in a camp for like a day's worth of time, we can travel, make some crowns, and maybe take some fights. I don't know where that is, but it's to the southeast, which you've never been there before. So let's just ride. All this time going to be spent repairing and healing. And we were ambushed by goblins. Oh, no. Okay. This could be bad. So I feel like we should take a very offensive stance in this fight. For a couple different reasons. One, we need to keep our lone wolf active. If they're crowding us, we're not going to be able to do that. And two, I think if these goblins get on these guys, they're going to get wrecked. We need to expect to be netted. And by closing the distance with him, it makes it so that these archers, these goblin ambushers, are going to have a harder time shooting me, especially with poison arrows. Let's differentiate ourselves here. Goblins have very good armor-piercing weapons. But they themselves are very weak. I would expect to one-shot this guy, and we do. And then from there, I can charge across the battlefield. Okay, that guy's gone. Would love to just come and face these skirmishers here. I'm hoping that the caravan hands move forward to help. Oh, God. I think some of them have died. Okay. We got to close the gap. One of them died at least. Yeah, and there goes the net. And he's going to get away. They have footwork. This guy will probably just swing on him without taking the net off, because I think our odds of hitting are still quite good. It's just lowering our melee defense. Our initiative, we don't care about that. Our initiative was terrible to begin with. And it sucks that our defense is so much lower, but we've got big armor. Yeah. Hit me in the head, hit me in the body. And now I've got a 95% chance. Hit you in the face. Damn. All the guards can die. That's not the problem. Oh no, now we're poisoned. That's what's actually bad. And how we're actually going to manage to catch these dudes. Okay, our lone wolf is still active. Okay, donkeys are getting smashed, and we are getting hurt as well. This poison, it doesn't hurt us, but it wrecks our action points, our vision, and our initiative. It's going to be very difficult for us to catch the goblins. Sometimes they'll run once all their melee guys are dead. But I think they still want to try and snipe out those donkeys. This is going to be a pain. I wish we had a dog. Okay, and they have footwork. So he could probably just walk away from me. I should have stepped over here. Damn. Okay. Yeah, not sure 100% what to do here. This helps us with injuries. It won't do anything, I don't think, for our leg muscles. Yeah. We've only got 14 HP. Those dudes didn't do anything. They didn't even charge forward. That's what really hurt. Yeah, it's over. Thankfully. Man, we were going to lose that fight. There's no way we run at them and don't die. That was a really tough enemy for us to fight. We can try and get a battle standard. That's something that's pretty easy for us to do. We've almost got 2k right now. Our big problem is going to come when we get locked into a fight like this that we just can't win. Yeah, this is feeling pretty bad. We're going to have to retreat. They're raiders. Yeah. If we were all full HP and we had just, we were all fresh, I would say we're fine. But we need to retreat here. There's nothing for it. We could go high ground. But no. Full armor. Full everything. I like our odds. We're going to get to the edge of the map. They're going to slaughter the donkeys, and we're going to have to run. Sucks. I was actually looking forward to our first raider fight today. Yeah. The wagons were destroyed. You stumble around the remains of the wagons. It isn't hard to see the merchant's head has been stoved in by some kind of chest. Perhaps the very thing behind which he sought protection during the heat of battle. Alas, none of the caravan is in better shape. The battle had proved vicious, even by your standards, and the resulting carnage has a few of your brothers heaving. If the nightmares come, then let them come. You deserve little else for your failure. Yeah, I don't like that. But we need to go and heal. They probably don't like us very much now, yeah, because we failed. But that was just too much. And we could go and join these mercs to try and kill some reavers. But we are way too hurt. We just need to camp. Let's get to this place over here. I hate passing on all these fights that would give us gear that we could instantly put in the hands of new brothers and make them useful right off the bat. Okay. A kennel. I was talking about getting a dog, but I'm much more interested in finding a squire. Man, squires are much more expensive, I think, than I remember. Or is it just that they just keep coming with these super expensive weapons? I think that's what it is. Got a winged mace. So we could pick up Robert here. We have little to no gear to give him. Fair Hat says... decent place to sell stuff. And that's going to put us over the 2k mark. Which is going to draw from us by 1,000. So if we don't want to lose 1,000 gold for making a battle standard, which I think is what it is, then we need to spend right now to get ourselves under that amount. And we can do that easily by hiring a guy and then putting him in like some broken padded leather. That's a little expensive. Warfork is a decent weapon to start off with. It's just a better version of a pitchfork, essentially. Let's see what the prices are on dogs at the local kennel. Very cheap. Varg, Misty, or Lord? Not sure. I'm not sure about the dog thing yet. I'm not even sure about grabbing a militiaman yet. But eventually we're going to want to start putting men in this company. So let's just go ahead and get him. War is a hungry beast. Militia conscripts like Robert are what feed it. While he got proper training, there was rarely enough food to go around for the second-rate soldiers. Robert's modest military garb belies a man who has seen his fair share of training in combat. Welcome in. And he is our first recruit. Wow. What random stars. And he's a Spartan. Probably has something to do with him being starved to death. Nearly. We always pass up, or I always pass up student level 1 and I go straight for Colossus. For more survivability, and then next level we take student. Here though, this makes him a very good polearm crossbowman. This is a quality brother. I mean, I'm not seeing any real weaknesses in his game here. Take a 5, a 4, and a 4. I mean, look how... those are the biggest rolls. We haven't even gotten rolls like that on Aussie. That's crazy. And the idea is now to give him a crossbow when we get one. We could probably buy a cheap one from here. It's a light crossbow. I hate buying junk, though. I would much prefer to buy something like a standard crossbow. We just don't have the gold. He needs armor. A real helmet would also be great. We could pick up a quiver of bolts. Let's get him that padded leather. That's the bare minimum. We could give him a flat top helmet. That's vision -1, which a crossbowman could have. Not great, but it's a hell of a lot better than a full Akaton cap. We don't need to buy a full Akaton cap, though. We do have the bear hat. I'm tempted. Let's... yeah. Hold on. We'll see about this. I've got 1,000 left. How much is a crappy crossbow? It's 428. We'll pick that up. We have lots of ammo. We'll buy 2 quivers of bolts. And we'll load that like so. And the idea is to eventually get quick hands on him, so that way we can switch back and forth. And now if I purchase something like that helmet that I want, we're not going to be able to afford anything else. Yeah, that's going to be it. So, welcome to the crew. Guys, I am taking name suggestions. So, if you're interested in claiming Robert, solid character, really good stars, great trait, and just all around a good character. We're going to try and keep him alive. If you're interested in claiming him as your character, just let me know in the comments section, and I would be happy to name him after you. Oh no, we got a wound on Ozymandias. Yeah. Let's check out exactly what that entails. So, infected wound. Lowering his hit points and max fatigue. So, I'm going to try and travel down here to Alderfest. Where we really need to go is Erdfall. We can't fight anything right now. There's really just not much for us to do. The best option would be like a delivery quest. Not necessarily a caravan escorting quest. Because as you've seen, we can get locked into battles that we can't win. What's the name of this mountain range? Misty Summit? Okay. Give us time to heal, give us time to repair. And we found another location. It's nice to find these ahead of time so we know if we need some battles, we can always walk back that way. And one militiaman is hardly breaking the bank in terms of daily wages. They've got some ruins here. Need to fix that up. A lot of ruins. Okay, and a training hall. Perfect. We won't have enough gold to help out Ozymandias. But it's nice to know that it's here and that there's multiples on the map. Ooh, Sarkuno's curved blade. Sick looking Shamshir. Very cool. And at the armor, tempted to pick up something like a closed mail coif. I'll think about that. Now let's see what the men they have are for hire. Another militiaman. Don't want any deserters. Not my crew. So nothing that we can really use, sadly. Good prices on tools. Pretty cheap bill hook. And for just about the same gold as the other helmet we almost bought. A little bit worse of a helmet. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. I would grab one more militiaman. I don't want to fill my entire company up with militiamen, though. We got lucky, and this guy is actually pretty good. But we could have just as easily gotten kind of a bum militiaman. But yeah, let's come down here. These are... That's a fortification. Okay. I'm trying to find cities that are close to each other that we could get things from. I've never been to Erdfall, which is a smaller place. I expected them to have a contract for us and a random armor in a hut. That's very strange. Normally in these very small villages, you don't get armorers. They have ambush trade routes. Who do they have for hire? They have a thief. Interesting. Taxidermist, of course, we have nothing for that. And then in the marketplace, nothing much. And their prices aren't good enough to try and play the trade game. Okay, let's see what this contract is. Drive off brigands. Got it. So this adds a whole new dynamic now, obviously, having an extra guy. Because now we have someone that we also have to protect. He's going to keep our flank secure, but he might run as soon as he gets surrounded. There might be battles where we need to run him and hide him and just let Aussie do all the work. So for a while, he might just end up being a liability instead of an actual help. And we'll play around a few times. We'll save the game, before we fight, and we'll test it. This could end up being a very difficult garrison. For all we know, there's a bunch of raiders here. We're going to camp. We're still infected. I don't think there was a temple in any of the places that we've been to get rid of that. But yeah, we should just camp. Whatever. We'll fast forward. We're losing just about nothing. Unlike other campaigns where you really can't afford to sit still forever, we're losing 11 crowns a day, and we have more food than we can possibly eat. Let's repair everything to its fullest. And are we recovered? We are. Time to go. Come on, Robert. Let's get in there. And you know what? If we're going to fight at night, it's just thugs. Just thugs. No raiders. For now, let's just do this. Until, we come to a point where he's a little bit more effective. A little bit, better armor and stuff. Let's keep him defensive. Like, as I said, he's a little bit of a liability. A shield in his hands. Him surviving is more important to me than him dealing the damage. We don't need him to deal the damage. Aussie will deal the damage. He just got to make it. Spear wall it up. I can keep him from kind of getting surrounded. But I see a good opportunity here to potentially get rid of this guy who can stun us. Okay, that didn't work. We might get stunned now. From my hubris. But they have two guys who can stun here. And he landed the second one. That's awful. Okay. You know what? Let's go in here. Finish him off. Already coming in handy, Robert. And he's probably going to take a couple hits for us. Yeah, and that's the other guy with the stunner. Better helmet there. We'd be looking in a little bit better shape. I might go for another round swing. If I get the chance, if I don't get stunned by this thug. Don't stun me, bro. Okay. And I'm probably... Man, it's as much as this sounds maybe weird. Get that kill. 74. Ugh. If we missed there, that would have felt horrible. Happy to get this kill and get some experience on Robert. But his armor's going to be a bit tattered. We're just hoping he makes it out of here alive. The dude that's attacking him has, like, the weakest weapon in the game, though. Perfect. There goes his armor. Put him down. This guy's already breaking. I'm not too worried about him hitting me. And now we just kind of turtle up. Not enough fatigue yet to shield wall constantly. We did spear wall twice at the beginning of this battle. Or at least once. And it ended up paying dividends. And Robert with the big 3 kills. Robert's not scared of nothing. I knew it. I knew Robert was a secret beast. Very good. With the battle drawing to a close, a few enemies drop to their knees and beg for mercy. We'll take their arms and chase them away. We're not getting paid to kill defenseless men. And let's return to saddle absolute heroes. Robert's going to pick up student. Man, these rolls are unbelievable. I'll happily take a 5 there. We need to be on the lookout for some decent melee rolls. A 3 would be, you know, of course, optimal. But it's hard to pass up a 4 in fatigue. And I'm looking at this 4 in resolve as well. You know what, though? No, that's not a great idea. I was thinking we're not too far away in time from getting our banner. And maybe he would make a good bannerman, because he will be a decent polearm user, but his resolve is just not naturally high enough. He's not quite good enough to do something like that. But we do want to get a dedicated bannerman. And really, really good for that is going to be a retired soldier. But they're a little bit more expensive. They're kind of out of our price range for the moment. Nobody here for us. Very cheap tools. I'm actually going to pick up 2 stacks. And we're going to get rid of the worst of the junk that we currently have. All of that. And hold on to a few sets of other things. Prices for buying here are quite good. Let's pick up 2 copper ingots. And we can travel down here to Sarfenstein. I'm trying to remember if you get, like, I think you get better prices if you go to a place. So let's say you got copper ingots and you go to a place that has like a forge. Something like that. I think you can get better prices, or a workshop. I don't know what that once was, but like an ore smelter? Are they the ones that produce the ingots? It's hard to remember what all each individual thing does. But we might be able to make a fair amount of gold off of that. They were selling them at under cost. And there are a lot of fortifications on this map. A lot of good places to buy the type, or to hire the type of recruits that we're looking for. Yeah, we're not going to make anything off of that, though. Check out their hires. We got a couple cowards. We don't need any cowards. Okay. Keep it going. Let's move down to Wickhaven. Or Wickhavn. I don't know. I don't know what that is. A man carrying a bucket of tools crosses paths with your company. The roads seem ill fit to place one man against a company of sellswords, and the stranger appraises the situation correctly by placing his wares down and putting his hands up. You tell him to calm and ask where he's going. He explains that he is a mason from Rubric, but that his work there is done. He's only on his way back to his family, located on a homestead a good day's walk from where you stand. Looking rather thirsty and tired, the man asks if maybe he could spend the night with your company to help him rest for the coming walk. Absolutely. You sit about a fire, much talk is made about this or that, but the traveler gets a little skittish and you ask what's on his mind. He says, I've heard rumors of graveyards turning up earth empty. They hanged a man out of Finster Wheeler for grave digging. Unfortunately, they kept finding deadless graves anyway. Now, I'm no superstitious man, but the way I hear it, the dead stepping out of the ground. What you heard is true. May the old gods have mercy, for if my damn mother-in-law walks the earth, she'll certainly have none of me. A frightening prospect. Yeah. We've seen it. We know it. We've killed many an undead in our time. The only time they're not scary is when you have a barbarian king chilling next to you. 6 guys. At night. We're at full HP. We're good to go. Let's try saving the game. You know, we'll get an autosave. We don't have to save the game. Let's take them, if we can. And I think we can. We just got to pick out the weak links and smash them right at the beginning. Like this guy. This guy's not wearing a helmet. He's got terrible surcoat armor. Our biggest problem is that we're kind of messing up our lone wolf. Let's see if we can take this fight with just Ozymandias. Okay, yeah, that's what we're worried about. They've got 2 of those. Or 3, 4? I feel like the game is trying to punish me. I don't think I've ever seen a group like this. Literally 4 of these things? Like, that's crazy. Alright, we hit them all and we destroyed their armor. We're going to need to do that again if we want to get out of this mess. Spear wall should hold them back. Oh, that sucks. I was going to say, we smartly put our back to a tree. This is terrible, though. I really don't like that they knocked me off that high ground. But we get one more turn, essentially, to land this. But they've got shield wall active on this dude. Okay, we get 1. And we get a reset, but we don't have the fatigue to do anything about it. Okay, spear wall helped for a minute. Come on, Robert. Damn, Robert's in trouble. Robert's dead. Robert's super dead. We can reload this fight and try it again. Let's try it. I think we can do it. But this is where we kind of, like, tease out strategies, right? We learn, you know, is it better to fight alone? Is it better to, and try and allow Lone Wolf to do its job? Is it better to have someone at our back, protecting us from getting flanked? There are a lot of questions here. I'm going to wait right there. We're going to step into here, because this bush is actually protecting our flank as well. And we're going to go for a line shot and spear wall to keep them off the high ground. Or at least from standing directly next to him with the high ground. This guy should be dead next turn. Maybe it's greedy to go for these AoE attacks. We could just be potentially one-shotting people. Although that's most unlikely. They're wearing decent armor. Wow. One axe throw took half my armor. But they're smart. They're hanging back. They don't want to be the ones that get destroyed by him. Damn, still no death. We could have done a round swing. I just felt like our odds of hitting were so low, considering they got the shield wall up. And your odds of hitting go down when you use that ability as well. Damn, Robert just doesn't have the gear or the levels. And now that we're stunned, we're pretty much dead. Yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to save the fight. You don't ever want to put yourself in a situation that you can't back out of. We can always run, reload and run. Yeah, so 6 raiders, perhaps too much for us. Yeah. So we're going to have to go into the fight and run. We could try one more time just for fun. It wouldn't take... I could see a world where we win this fight. It would just take some early kills, essentially. Like, we gotta get this guy in the front right here. We gotta get them to start wanting to rout. And we're already starting at a bit of a deficit in our armor. And a Brigand Raider with a military pick is devastating to someone who has Battle Forged as a perk. And yeah, they land the stun there. We miss our attack. And that's pretty much GG for that fight. 4 flippin' maces. In a group of 6. Like, what are the odds? I feel like that's the game kind of like screwing us. The same with the Club Claw battle. I'm very curious if the game, like, knows this. If there's some sort of programming just for the Lone Wolf run. To make it so that, like, this idiot didn't take Steel Brow. Teach him a lesson. I mean, that was a value hit. We got the kill and put some damage on another guy, but Robert's not long for this world. If we could get him out, I would, and just let Ozymandias try and fight. But they've got too good of weapons. They're all using tier 2 weapons. They've got armor we can't, you know, easily destroy. Oh, Robert. I hate watching you die again. A movie I just watched recently, which was pretty sweet, was Edge of Tomorrow. I don't want to spoil anything, but watching someone die repeatedly is kind of a theme. And if you've never seen that movie before, I highly recommend it. It was awesome. It's Tom Cruise, who's a big Scientology weirdo. But he's a guy who can act. He's in some good movies. Last Samurai is one of my favorite movies. Damn, whiff. They've got the triple shield wall up. It's gonna be hard to hit him. I'm just fighting just to see if I can beat him. Not necessarily because I actually think I can beat him. Down we go. Okay. Not worth. And this time we're just gonna run. So yeah, we don't want to get too big for our britches. We're not swinging a great sword. We're not two, like, level 11 guys in jacked armor. We're wearing a 50 armor bear hat and using a militia spear. And we just gotta get the heck out of here. And keep traveling. It was a bit of an experimental fight. Also, I was just kind of looking. We got a cool base here. It's an actual, like, little wolf. It looks like the Witcher symbol. I thought there was a way to, like, flee. Yeah, we're good. I thought there was a way to individually flee. Alright, let's get out of there. I think that kind of wrecks with our morale a little bit. Yeah, we retreated from battle twice. So, we don't go into fight the most confident. But what we really needed was a contract. They just want us to go find a place. We'll happily do that. As you and the Lightborn Legion prepare their journey, Robert states that there is a man who wishes to speak to you directly. You nod and have him led to you. He's a glum, small man who states that the rulers of Wickhaven have no interest in the Forester's hideout other than ones of greed. Of course that's the case, so what's the problem? The man nods. Look, I have some folks who are interested in keeping the Forester's hideout hidden away for good. If you find it, well, talk to me first. We'll make you a pretty penny. I'll think about it. I feel like those options are there if you want to be, if you're kind of desperate. Which we are not. They have a flagellant. Caravan guy and some decent armor. Don't really need to pay too much attention to any of that. We could sell this for a 30 gold profit each. That might be about as good as we can expect to get for some time, so I'll just go ahead and get rid of it. Still good on food, still good on tools. And now we need to go and find a place. Should be right out here somewhere. It says Bleached Bone Dale to the east. Probably just climb the mountain and check it out. Found it. Let's return. I want to have maybe one, at least one more guy before I start just going into locations like that. This is probably, if I had to guess, a bunch of unarmored Wiedegangers and maybe one or two armored ones, which I think our boy can do a good job of destroying. Let's get paid twice here. Boom. Thank you. So we kind of messed them up a little bit, but that's okay. They'll learn their lesson. All right, now Robert needs to get. Ooh, Robert, no, buddy, no. That face, man. Robert, nothing wrong with being bald. I'm down with it, but if I was bald, I would definitely grow some sort of facial hair. Let's get you some hair, Robert. That's a respectable Robert beard. Robert, let's make you a tank. There you go. And Robert was a militiaman. Let's get him some suitable tattoos if there are any. I guess not. Yeah, the rest of these kind of scream barbarian or cultist. We'll hook him up. There you go. And we could see about a 2-skull contract. It's just to travel. It's a delivery. And they want us to go to Alsliv. 950. We can accept that. Have I ever been to Alsliv? I don't remember. Or is that the place that I kind of walked around and didn't visit? No, we've been there. It's a nothing place. I don't really want to do that. I want to continue going down here to Subingen. Or Subingen. And I'm considering coming over here to the Forester's Hideout just because I feel like it's just some unarmored Wiedegangers that we could easily beat. It's just a hunch. The early game spot. I mean, it's basically exactly what I said. We could save the game here. We'll do a backup. I like to have backup saves. Because sometimes I'll mess stuff up accidentally. I'll try to clean up my saves and ruin it. Let's do it. Let's try. Hopefully Robert has a strong stomach. We are going to back up and take advantage of some of this terrain. There's no point at all in fighting them on their terms. We're going to wedge ourselves between this rock and hard place. And let them come to us. And what little surround they can get won't matter much. So, like, as I said earlier, having Lone Wolf doesn't really benefit us as much whenever we fight with Robert, of course. Underdog would have been a very good perk for us to pick up perhaps instead. I don't think they can reach this spot this turn. Yeah, they can always go around. But we've taken out 2 spots for them to advance. And we're going to spear wall here. Thankfully, they've given me a line shot. And a spear wall. Really want the spear wall to stay up. We don't want them to bypass. We can get a lot of value from it if we can hold them back. Yep, that's pretty terrible. But we might be able to clear... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, if we could kill him before anyone else jumps in, we could probably clear the area for him. And let's go for a line shot. And that was thanks to Berserk that we were able to make that happen. And decapitations, obviously, great versus the undead. They won't be coming back to bother us. This guy's got a stick. Gotta recognize who could potentially stun us. And Robert's not too happy he's surrounded currently. Gotta kill him. Can't afford to get stunned, even though his weapon is useless. And I would like to kill someone who's on Robert. Robert needs to put his shield up, if he can. I'd much rather him be defensive right now than offensive. And he might just get wrecked. Dang. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. We might just need to run with Robert for a while. There's no way he survives this. And if he dies here, we're just going to reload. It's not a big deal. We're learning to play in a different way. So I think Robert needs to just not even be a part of these fights in the early portions. Just go hide him in a bush. Yeah. Okay. Robert runs. I'm going to get myself on some high ground. They have no shields, anything like that. They can't push me off. Too easy. Robert, you just keep running, buddy. And we'll just hack until our arms get tired. Hoping to get lots of decapitations. Alright. Well, we used a good bit of our fatigue to take out the two least threatening dudes on their board. But it did something. It gave us real high confidence, which they just kind of took away. See if we can do it again. Okay. And I'll do it one more time. Excellent. We did not, however, kill the one dude I was trying to kill. And I'm going to stay somewhat close in case I need him. I don't want to make him completely irrelevant. Because I could kill, yeah, I could kill several of these guys. And then really clear it up for Robert to come in and help. And if this guy wants to come and chase me, then let him chase me to a point where I'm on the high ground and he's on the low ground. Because he's got better gear than me, sadly, but his stuff is all messed up. Okay. That was something. Let's spear wall here, see if we can't hold him back. Actually, Robert's faster than him. Okay. We'll spear wall again, though. So that was a bit of wasted fatigue. But it's working. More damage to his armor, and bought us some time. Most dangerous. This guy, I mean, he hasn't gone for the stun yet. I don't know if that means he can't do it. But the most dangerous dude is the guy with the hand axe. That's a real weapon. Yeah, and we one-shotted him somehow. Don't stun me, bro. And he came right back. Spear wall. Doing the Lord's work. And our fatigue is great on him. We'll drop him again. I don't want to get hit anymore by that hand axe. It's too costly in repairs. And it sets us back so far whenever we have to spend a whole day. We'll just wait here. Repairing our stuff. Alright, he's going to come in now and hit us. No doubt. And we hit him in the head. That feels terrible. He's got a sword. His odds to hit us were strong. So Robert, at the end, he did something. He drew away one character, one undead, and bought us a little bit of safety. And a padded, dented nasal helmet is a great pickup for him. Even a Scrammus axe and a hand axe are two things we can hold on to for when we get some additional brothers. I mean, I'll give him the hand axe for now. And we'll also give him that helmet. It's a solid one. He'll still be able to shoot his crossbow. But until he gets quick hands, he's not going to be very efficient at using it. And now I'm going to go ahead and get Underdog. The defense malice due to being surrounded by opponents no longer applies to this character. If an attacker has the Backstabber perk, the effect of that perk is negated, and the normal defense malice due to being surrounded is applied instead. Good pickup. And then last but not least, we'll want to get reach advantage on this tier as well. Okay. See that 4. I'll take that 3. Yeah, I guess I'll just take this 3 as well. Man, this guy is so strong. I honestly don't know if we should continue pumping melee skill anymore. I think we're getting some serious lack of return once we get past the 90 mark. Whereas points spent in other areas might be more value, like range defense. Or even a single, like a 4 roll in hit points, probably translates to 5 HP. Which, once you have Indomitable, gives you damage reduction. Sacks a little bit with that. We'll see. We don't have to make any big decisions yet. Glad we were able to take that fight, though. Decent little upgrades, good experience. And having Underdog makes me feel a lot safer with Aussie. What do you want me to do? Probably travel. Yeah. Got it. A day north? And saddle. I'm trying to remember where everything is. Okay, they just want me to go back up there. I could go this way. And maybe stop by Grottenhaven on the way. I don't really want to go back this way. I want to go to the east now. I'm trying to go to Grottenhaven. Rainburg. And this isn't really a very large contract anyway. Let's just keep rolling. I don't want to wait here for an entire night. Because it just started. We could be pretty far down the road by the time daytime comes back. Yeah, let's just keep rolling. It's a small place. There probably wasn't even anyone to recruit there at all. You can come here to Grottenhaven. They got a lot of stuff going on here. Fishing huts, militia barracks. Looks like 2 harbors. And an amber collector. They find any mosquitoes. See about making some dinosaurs. So they have another militiaman. Like I said, I wouldn't mind picking up one more. He comes with his own weapon. It's a decent 2-handed weapon again. He's kind of expensive. I don't like that. And it's pretty much near the end of my current budget. Any good loot here? A nasal helmet, another padded leather. Get rid of this stuff. We don't need any of that. Don't need that, don't need that. And now we're back up to 2,000. So once again, if I want to not spend 1,000 of it on a banner right now, I need to spend that gold. Pick up some fish. Do we roll the dice? Do we get our next militiaman? I think we do. Otmar. Once again, guys, if you want to claim him, just let me know. Broken without work, Otmar joined his local militia. His weapons were rusted, and the armor non-existent. Unfortunately, enemies were not so kindly under-equipped. When a lord sent his entire militia to almost certain doom, Otmar realized he had better seek something better if he wanted to live. He took his modest skill set to the field of mercenaries. Let's hire him. I feel like I'm paying almost entirely for his weapon. But hopefully he's a solid gentleman. He's a drunkard. Oh, no. And a weasel, which is actually good. His character is swift as a weasel. Unfortunately, he seems to only be able to call on this ability when running to save his hide. Okay. But look at that resolve, though. We might have found our bannerman. And 2 points in hit points. I don't hate that either. We could get him up to like a really high number of hit points. He could end up being... He could end up being kind of a lightly armored guy. He could go... I'm trying to think. There is a build to do that. You want Colossus, because you want HP. You want... is definitely nimble. Any hits to glancing hits, hit point damage taken is reduced by up to 60%, but lowered. So you want tons of fatigue, really light armor, high initiative. You gotta also go for dodge. It's a scary build in the early game, but he's got decent initiative already. Really high resolve. We could make him our bannerman and just keep him in really light armor. I don't hate that. Big HP, Big resolve. I mean, unfortunately, his starting resolve is kind of low, but we can just keep pumping that. So we're gonna look to start pumping resolve, fatigue, and then we'll have to kind of alternate melee skill, some hit points, mostly melee skill, and then the occasional solid roll in melee defense whenever we get a chance. But we're gonna be relying on dodge, high initiative. We'll also, yeah. Pumping initiative and fatigue is going to kind of be the same as pumping melee defense, so I don't think we pump that. No, you still pump that because the bigger the number, the better the percentage means. Okay, we'll see. We don't have to make, like I said, too many decisions right now. But he is in the crew for better or worse. Let's see what his gear is. That's a 40 to 70. Yeah, so that's better than our Warfork. We could kind of go the same route here and just hook him up with a decent weapon to start. There we go. Make him defensive until he can actually kind of use those weapons. And let's see about this. I'll accept your offer. They just want us to find a place which we might happily destroy. Oh, no. I didn't want to go into the harbor. I wanted to go to the barber, not the harbor. Ottman. Okay. Alright, that's a respectable character. You, sir, you are accepted. Gotta love a good dwarf beard. My type of guy, sir. So we want to go to the west. Hopefully it's just right here somewhere. Maybe here. Ancestral remains around the regions of Sudaros. Oh, maybe here. This could be a little bit farther than I originally bargained for. Well, let's check this first. Yeah, and that's been thoroughly checked. Let's check that first, just in case, because I've done it before where I think I know exactly where it is. I go all the way around, look for it, and then it's like, oh no, you dummy, it was right here the whole time. So let's not do that. Let's also fast forward, so we don't all lose our minds. But 2 decent pickups, right, for militiamen, and I think that's going to be it for militiamen. I want to get a squire, I want to get some retired soldiers, or at least one of each. And then the rest, I want for our crew to be really strong and higher tier guys, because they've got to be elite if we're gonna survive in this crazy world. Something else we can do, we can start our guys sort of close to each other, but not really. Close enough that if they need to get together and defend each other, they can, but far enough away that we start with Lone Wolf active. And we can even start further back. No reason for us to start on the frontest of lines. Should we try and take this fight? Unknown garrison. Sure, why not? Let's do it. We'll save the game. And jump right in. Let's go, let's go. Ancestral remains. Could be anything. Probably undead. If it turns out to be some brigands or something, it's 15 of them, though. Woo! That's a goodly amount. Back up. Yeah. So, same strat as last time. Maybe we can pull a few of them away with our 2 other bros. And the rest are going to have to contend with Aussie. Now, the good news, just like last time, is that... Well, actually different from last time. Oh, they have a Necromancer. That's much worse. We've been moving backwards. There was no world in which we'd be able to sneak around to kill this guy, so let's not worry about it. I was going to say, the difference between now and last time is that we have Underdog. I don't think we had it last fight. Maybe we did. I don't think so, though. So their odds of hitting us are going to be very low. Even when they're surrounding. Our melee defense is superb on this dude. What I would love to do is find... I honestly like to find a... Just get a kite shield. Or even a heater shield. Doesn't really matter to me which. And a really solid one-handed weapon. And just make this guy an absolute tank. Make it so that the odds of people hitting us are like non-existent. Because they're getting pretty lucky right now. A spear is a good weapon against us, but we're on the high ground. Like, they have chances of 5. Surrounds are what we're really looking for. Because we want to get those big round swings. Okay, let's do it. Go for him. So some of them are running past. Move up here. And just let them come. Alright, he tried to move. And got really punished for it. Okay, a lot of these dudes don't even have weapons. Pretty annoyed that they have a pitchfork. We could go for a line shot there. See if maybe we get lucky. But if we have the ability to do round swings, we should just take that, especially from the high ground. And we don't. Okay, let's just take the kills when we can get them. Yeah, I didn't expect the Necromancer. Without the Necromancer, more of them would be crowding around Ozymandias, but once they get a full surround off, I mean, the AI is not completely stupid. They're not just going to hang out here and mill around. They're going to start overflowing and going to the next person that they can fight. We're going to back up here. Yeah, no stuns, hopefully. Pitchfork is going to continue to mess with us. That guy's got a Scramasax and some decent armor. And so does he. Yeah, no recover is rough. Recover in this scenario would be great. We'd be able to continue doing round swings. But we're facing a unique circumstance where the enemy we're fighting can be, like, infinitely resurrected. So this might be a battle that we're not really meant to win, honestly. Without being able to get onto the Necromancer, we're going to have trouble. Yeah, that's a big hit. Yeah, there's just too many of them for now, I think. We can stay in the fight and try and win, but I think eventually we're going to get overwhelmed. These two guys aren't in good enough armor, and they're not leveled enough to take this fight. And he could just... the ones that don't even resurrect naturally are just going to get pulled up by the Necromancer. Scramasax is a good weapon at getting decapitations, but you kind of have to have them there at the right place, right time. We could probably get him. Put a little damage on him, and we've almost got him low enough to do it. It's a percentage-based thing. And you've got 2 stacks of bleed there. That feels real bad. I can't believe we missed just now. We missed a 95% chance. I mean, I guess there's always a 5% chance. I suppose somebody wins the lottery. But this was kind of just another experiment. These battles have all been very educational for me. Really trying to push the bounds and experiment with what we can get away with. Why can we get away with one thing but not the other? And for me, it's learning, like, which types of armies to avoid. Like, the Necromancer, for me, has never been a dangerous enemy. Like, really. He's someone, I almost don't even care that he exists in most battles. Because all he really does is draw away some of his forces to protect him. Instead of, you know, like, usually a fallen hero or something will stay back to protect him instead of coming to fight me. So I'm happy. I'm like, oh, good, a Necromancer. And then from a distance, you can shoot him. But in an early battle like this, a Necromancer is a horrible foe because he can just resurrect his people faster than we can fight them. So that's all good to know. And I'm not going to belabor this anymore. Let's just roll out of this. And there's no reason for us to take this fight. We're not ready. I think what we would need is probably 2 more brothers. And then once we have 2 more brothers, once we're at that kind of 5 mark, I think that's enough to consider. Let's actually stop by this place again. Last time we came here, we weren't able to recruit because it was nighttime. But I would say once you're at the 5 mark, that's probably enough brothers to consider foregoing the benefits of Lone Wolf and standing shoulder to shoulder with Aussie and trying to help him out in those types of fights. But really nothing of value was lost. We got paid 60 crowns. We're going to get paid another 230. We know where there's a relatively easy location we can go and take out in the future. Whenever we're ready, we'll knock that out. Oh, man. Yeah, and I think in the last episode I promised a small Witcher rant. I don't know if I'm ready to do that, though. I enjoyed it. I will start by saying that I actually enjoyed the show as a whole. And I think in the later episodes it got better. But that first episode, man. If I wasn't as familiar with the world of The Witcher as I am, and I watched that first episode just as someone who loves fantasy, I'd be like, what story is this? This is so poorly told. I have a couple serious complaints. One of which is and I don't think it's anything controversial. It's something that a lot of people have talked about. Yeah, we can do this. That'll give me a chance to wax poetic. But the jumping around of the storylines with very little tells. I'm a smart guy. I know the story of The Witcher. So I kind of know whenever I see a certain scenario, like what's happening. I get it. Like I know who's there. I know I get it. But from the perspective of someone who doesn't have much experience, I could very easily see myself getting lost in this show. Even in the 8 episodes that there are in the season. Let's check this out. You find a kid wearing a rather opulent chain. I know where this is going. Opulent chain around his neck. It's so heavy his head is bent forward. But that minor struggle doesn't wipe the mile-wide grin off his face. Robert pushes the kid down and takes the necklace. Where'd you get this? The kid cries out, trying to grab his treasure back, but he's about 3 feet and a good jump too short. Hey, that's mine. Give it back. Another kid comes over, flashing a ring so large it's pinching 2 fingers at once. All right, that's enough. The company fans out and eventually finds a dead merchant in some tall grass beside a tree line. His face is purpled and jagged with broken bones. It appears he's been stoned to death. A group of about 40 or 50 youngsters appear from the tree line, each juggling a stone in their hand. Their leader, a little runt with red hair and sleeves of tattoos, asks what you want with tattoos, like Rufio from Hook. You tell him that you'll be taking the merchant's good, the leader laughs. Oi, is that so? I'll give you 10 seconds to rethink that choice. Oi, that I will, mister. You got something to say, Ozymandias? I don't know what he's going to say. That's interesting. Ozymandias steps forward and heaves his weapon to the fore. He waves it at all the kids. Ah, so you want to be little bandits or heroes or some shit? Well, that's good. That's fine. But I'll be watching to see who throws the first stone. He or she who does so will find out what happens when I get angry. And then after the rest of you have watched, I'll kill the lot of you. And I'll follow your little footprints all the way home, find your kin, and smash their farkin heads in. The hedge knight pauses to glare about. So which of you shall throw the first stone? The tyke in charge of this miniature army raises his hand and speaks. Let the men go. We've better things to do than quarrel with these travelers. Hey, that's a wise move. With pride swallowing smarts like that, the little red-headed bugger might someday lead a company to great fortunes. But this day is yours. You take the merchant's goods and make your leave. So without a hedge knight there, that is a perilous event. If you try to take it from him, I think you can end up getting nothing and just getting a bunch of broken bones and injuries. Or you could end up getting the loot that we just got, but you'll still get the broken bones and injuries. So having a hedge knight there to scare them off was pretty sweet. I mean, that was free, like 400 gold. Nice. And we can kind of like grab this as we walk by. Yeah, nothing there. Oh wait, just click on that. Click on this. Anything for us here? I don't see anything. We should probably grab a little more food. We'll get some bread. Are the prices here good to sell? Not especially. We can hold on. Fletcher here. Pretty cheap stuff for buying. Anytime you see a war bow for under 4K, you're getting a good price. Okay, but we'll just pass on. But yeah, cool little event. But as I was saying about The Witcher, basically the timelines bother me. It bothers me a lot just because I think it hinders the average viewer. I'm still a little bit bothered by the way they change the appearances of the characters. It's not a big deal, but as I've said before, I'm a big believer in staying true to the source material. And if there's nothing absolutely wrong with the way people are depicted, then I think you should leave it alone. One thing that it kind of struck me at first, but then I kind of thought about it some more and had a different opinion on, which is important to be able to do in life, change your opinion. The first time I saw the way the dwarves were depicted in the world of The Witcher, so I noticed they used a lot of like little people actors, which at first it struck me as odd, because I think in the world of The Witcher, and I've played plenty of other games where there are lots of other dwarves in the Witcher series. If you play even like Thronebreaker, which is an awesome card game, by the way, I highly recommend it. You actually go to, God dang it, I can't remember the name of the place. Is it? Damn, I can't remember. It's the Dwarven Homeland. It's like a big mountainous land that the humans can't really get into, and the dwarves kind of hold it pretty tight. Very similar to like a Tolkien-esque dwarf, but they are very strong. Like they're like physically imposing, intimidating people as dwarves. And in the same way as like in Tolkien, if you look at the dwarves as they're depicted in The Hobbit, like, yeah, they're shorter than men, but they're strong, they're burly, they're able to travel long distances, carry, you know, heavy burdens. They can swing these giant hammers and axes. Very similar also to Warhammer, right? And that's kind of how I think of it. Holy crap, look at this. Oh my god. So when I first saw them depicted as, I'll just hover over these so you can take a look at their stats if you're interested. But once I saw them depicted as, you know, in often cases, the little people they found, I mean, were very little indeed. I mean, some very, very short and diminutive people. And I'm like, man, that doesn't really fit with my understanding of the dwarf-type characters in The Witcher. Because one of Geralt's best friends, Zoltan, is like this kind of badass dwarf guy who's not afraid to like crack skulls. But then I thought about it. Like I said, I thought about it more, and where I ended up was that it must suck to be a member of that community. I don't know if you would refer to that as little people. I think is the more politically correct term. I don't know if you would consider that like the dwarf community, the people who suffer from dwarfism. But I could imagine it being really crappy to be someone with that, and to have my group of people represented constantly as like jacked 5'6", being considered like short, which is kind of like how tall some of the the dwarves appear to be in The Hobbit. They're not actually that short, if you look at them in some scenes. But you know, it's just a complete like weird misrepresentation. And I thought about it and I was like, man, it's actually cool that they gave a place for those actors to get into the series. I like that, and I came around to it pretty fast, but it's just something that I appreciated after the fact, that I wish I maybe caught on and appreciated a little bit sooner. It's just, I love dwarves. I love dwarves in fantasy, and I want them to always be these tough, you know, cool characters. And, you know, you can be tough and cool without having to necessarily be physically powerful. So obviously I bought this kite shield as a backup strategy for Ozymandias. If we can get some sort of great one-handed weapon, that would be cool. So it goes without saying, this greatsword is unbelievable. Huge chance to hit someone in the head, which is probably a one-shot against just about anyone. And weapon skills build up -3 less fatigue. That's a lot over a long battle. Two-handed mace, one of my favorite weapons. And then the one-handed mace, also very cool. So, ooh, and a rondo dagger. An ideal pickup for that kite shield would probably be something like a, I don't know, just a tier 3 weapon of any type. A warhammer, a noble sword, those are all good pickups. that I would consider using and replacing my longsword for. Okay. We're here. There's nothing to do. Let's go to Earthfall, and that'll probably be it for today's episode. But yeah, so minor gripes with The Witcher. I just wish it was a story that was a little bit better told chronologically. I wish they had stayed a bit truer to the source material in some aspects, even not calling Dandelion Dandelion, which I know is a bit of a derivative from the translation in Polish. Dandelion is kind of a made-up English name, whereas I think he's supposed to be like Buttercup or something. It translates too literally in Polish. But it's just small things like that that can bother you when you're a fanboy. And I try not to take it too personal. But ultimately, I left the last episode with a good taste in my mouth, so to speak. And I'll be back to watch more. I'm eager to see what they do with it in the future. And I hope they keep doing good things and they respect the source material. I got so hyped for it, I actually decided to buy or rebuy The Witcher for our Switch. So, like, I had it on PS4. I played, like, right when it came out. I played, I don't know, like, almost 200 hours in the original. Beat the game. And then, as I've mentioned before in the past, my PS4 got nuked by a thunderstorm. And, yeah, I can't recover any of that. Sadly. At least I don't think you can. Some of that might be saved in cloud storage, but I don't have a PS4 anymore, so I couldn't play it regardless, which sucks. But it kind of reinvigorated me to go and experience the series again, knowing everything I know now. I think it'll be even more exciting to kind of play through that world. And I know there was a lot of talk because apparently The Witcher was one of the most played games. If you look at Steam, people are like buying it up and playing it like crazy. Ooh, that's a cheap price for tools. We should pick up quite a bit there. Once again, pretty good copper ingot price. The prices here are great. Let's just grab this and see if we can't sell it the next place we'll go. Where are we going? Yeah, let's go up to Wolf's Wall. It's a fortification. We're not going to get contracts, but maybe we can get a fight going. Big woods here. I would expect to fight something. And then that'll be it for the end of the episode today, guys. But yeah, I was happy to change my mind. I just, even now, even after liking the entire series, I don't think you can get me to say that I enjoyed the first episode. I think it was bad. I think it was pretty bad. Okay, we can make a little bit here, whatever. We'll just dump it. And call it quits. I probably have more thoughts on the subject. They're not super well composed. So I'll save them for another day. But the big sticklers for me was the use of little people actors, which I thought was ultimately a great positive. Me getting over the changes to, you know, in casting. And then my chief complaint, which I think is very valid no matter who you are, is the wonky storytelling timeline. And, oh god, and the Nilfgaardian armor. So, I don't know if there's a reason for this. I think they did an interview with one of the people whose jobs it was to, like, choose the armor. But just Google that. Google, like, Nilfgaardian armor memes. Instead of the really cool and unique aesthetic that they have this weird, like, wrinkly scrotum armor that doesn't make any sense. It's not, like, it doesn't make sense tactically. It doesn't make sense, like, in a fantasy world. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that, what purpose those wrinkles serve in leather. Everyone else in the show is wearing plate or breastplates and pauldrons, and they've got greaves. They got real armor. It might be fantasy versions of it, but it's real armor. And the coolest armor probably in the entire series, aside from the Witcher's different types of armor that you can get, is the Nilfgaardian armor. So that bugged me. They literally look like penises. Like, for real. The helmets are awful. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of that. They're like these weird, wrinkly black Saleh helmets made out of some sort of weird leather. They don't make sense. None of it makes sense. It's bad. Okay. That off my chest. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Once again, let me know in the comments if you have a name suggestion. We'll be picking up brothers at a pretty fast click now. And we're going to be trying to find someone to be a banner bearer, maybe perhaps better than, is it Otmar? Yeah, we'll see. He's in the running right now, but we might pick up a retired soldier or something better than that. But yeah, so just let me know. Claim him. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Later.